Welcome to Uniquely Female Troubles. My name is Leslie Wells, and today we're going to talk about a couple of things that men have said about women, and particularly about rape. And rape, I don't know. I'm going to just read you these quotes. A man named Todd Akin said, "If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to shut that whole thing down." And he was a politician. I should have wrote down more details about him, but I didn't. And so that's saying that if a woman gets pregnant through rape, it wasn't a quote legitimate rape. Tell me, what is a legitimate rape? I know I'm supposed to say R word. Ugh. I hate these YouTube rules. Anyway, what is a legitimate R word? There used to be an old wives' tale that is so far out of date, it's ridiculous. But it used to be believed that if a woman did not experience an orgasm in a sex act, her body would not release an egg. They used to believe, they didn't know that the body, or the people saying this, put it that way, maybe scientists did know, they did not know that the body just releases an egg once a month, just regardless of anything. If you're healthy and your cycle is working properly, you're going to release an egg every month, and you can get pregnant then. Has nothing to do with whether you enjoy it, whether you hate it, whether it's forced, whether it's voluntary. It has nothing to do with any of that. But since people used to believe that you couldn't get pregnant unless you had an orgasm, so that means if you got pregnant as a result of a rape, was it a legitimate rape? You must have really enjoyed it, and sometimes women do orgasm during rape. That is just a bodily feature. That's all it is. It does not mean you want it. It does not mean you like it. It does not mean it's not a total, like, soul murder kind of thing. It does not mean any of that. It just means your body had a physical reaction. It has nothing to do with whether it was a legitimate R word, as if there is such a thing, or whether it was not a legitimate R word. So another thing that people want to talk about when it comes to whether it was actually R word or not is if you had a prior relationship with that person. Say you had a prior relationship with that person and you were sexually intimate with them in the past, you will have a very hard time prosecuting that person for the R word. I actually knew somebody that went through that, and they don't want to bring charges because how do they know it wasn't consensual since you had already had a previous relationship with that person? The other thing that they talk about is like, were you drinking? What kind of clothes did you have on? There was actually a French judge that found a man not guilty of the R word, even though all the evidence pointed to it being the R word, because he said that the lady's blue jeans were so tight that there was no way the guy could have got them off her without her cooperation. Well, maybe he put a gun to her head and said, "Take off your blue jeans or I'm going to blow your head off." I mean, it's ridiculous. It really bugs me. Then the other quote is, "If our word is inevitable, just relax and enjoy it." That was said by Clayton Williams. And to be honest, I didn't write down who he was. I should have. But, so if it's inevitable, just relax and enjoy it. Tell me, Mr. Williams, if it's an inevitable that you get tortured and there's nothing you can do to stop it, would you relax and enjoy it? If you can't stop somebody from murdering you, would you relax and enjoy it? If you were kidnapped and it was inevitable in the sense that you couldn't make it not happen, would you relax and enjoy it? Why would anybody say that? Why? For one thing, one of the reasons, since the R word is a sexual act, people think it has something to do with enjoyment. And they don't understand what a huge invasion of your actual body and soul that it is. And nobody would say that about any other crime. Nobody. If they did, they're crazy. And this person's crazy too. And I'm sure he's never been R-worded, which can happen to men as well as women. And if he wasn't relaxing and enjoying it. He was probably screaming his head off and begging the person to stop. So, but because it's a sexual act used as a tool of violence, people jumble it up together and they think it has something to do with making love or making the other person feel good, or that you could, it's just so wrong. And it makes me very angry. And one thing they found out is the R word has nothing to do with sex. Like 98-year-old women have been R worded by teenage boys. Now, are they sexually attracted to that lady? No, I don't think so. But they exerted their power over her. Why they chose to do that, I couldn't even begin to say why. That's just crazy. But there's all different situations where women who, it's pretty obvious, were not an object of sexual desire have been raped. Another thing is that, like, I used to even think, I mean, I was very young, but I used to think, like, if a guy didn't get sex, he would get, like, hornier and hornier and hornier and hornier, and he might actually just go out and R-word somebody to satisfy that desire. No, that doesn't happen. A person might mix it up together in their head and think that's why they did it, but they did it to exert power over a woman or over another man. That's why it happens. It has nothing to do with sexual desire. But since it is a sex act and you use the sexual organs of your body to do it to their sexual organs, people get it all confused in their heads. But anyway, please like this video and subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. And thank you. Thank you for watching this. Have a good day. Bye.